it, but how can we get it? Now, it's taking me a lot of years to share what I'm about to share with you now, and I'm actually sharing with you a pamphlet, or not a pamphlet. It's a whole section there, and what that section is, it's actually a section of my book. I'm writing a book right now. It's 75% done, 75% complete, and the book is called "Things I Wish I Knew When I Was Younger." That's what the overall book is called. And one of the big topics that I want to focus on, or I focused on, is confidence. And I'm actually giving you the excerpt of the confidence section right now. You have it in your hands. So you're not even paying for it. I'm giving it for free. And that's what really we're going to be talking about today, this chapter. So I'm not plagiarizing. I'm plagiarizing myself because I wrote that. I wrote that. So some may say, and they see me and they'll say, hey, Brother Alex, he has confidence and, it's just easy for him. He just has confidence. And truthfully, I'm going to say about myself that I think everything I have is definitely by the grace of God. God has blessed me, graced me. But also, and here's the other part that we're going to talk about, is work, hard work. And that's where we have to combine the two things, the blessings of God, and God has blessings for all of us. But we also have to unite the hard work. And just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I don't know if everybody knows all my background. I've shared with some people, not everybody. When I went to middle school, I went to a middle school that was really bad school. Actually, your husband, we went to the same school. He tells you, right? Horrible middle school. I mean, dangerous. You're running for your life every day kind of middle school. So education was not a priority. It was surviving, pure survival for the next day. That was in New York, bad New York, not now New York. New York now is easy. So after that, I did go to a really good high school, aviation high school. And in that aviation high school, they taught me how to be an aircraft mechanic. At the age of 17, I got my aircraft mechanic license, which is to fix airplanes. And I could fix airplanes at the age of 17, even now, of course. But I don't do that, but I could. After that, I joined the Marine Corps, and I was in the Marine Corps for 6 years. Me and your husband have a lot in common, right? I joined the Marine Corps, and obviously, anybody who joins the Marine Corps, just any branch of the military, it's a very tough. This is in the Air Force. It's a very tough thing, and it starts to give confidence. And again, I haven't told you what it is, but I'm getting there. After 6 years, I did my bachelor degree in airport management, business and management. That's where my bachelor's is in. And then after that, I started working at a bank, at Chase Bank. And I started as a customer service, and then I went into and I started becoming a personal banker. I was a banker for about 4 or 5 years. And in a little bit, I'll tell you a little bit more on that specific job. I think that's definitely a lot of places where I gained my confidence, as well as speaking to people. After that, I became a teacher. I won't give you the whole details of that, but I started becoming a teacher because a person told me, hey, you're great at explaining things. They have this program where you get a free master's degree, and all you have to do is be a teacher for 3 years. And I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And 15 years later, I'm still a teacher. But I did get my master's degree in education. And then after that, I did 7 years in public school in New York City, which again, tough place to be a teacher. And then I moved here to Florida, and I was 7 years, I was a teacher at a charter school. And now here, I've been in this school for 1 year. So if you add all that up, that is 15 years of being a teacher. And my goal is to do 777. That's my personal goal of doing all three, public school, charter school, and now private Christian school combination. So all of that has taught me, and the reason I share that is because sometimes I like to share that as other people have similar aspirations, and then I can help you out in your growth or in your path, and I can help you out with that. I mean, people did help me out as well, so why not help other people out as well? And that's why I even wrote this book, is because, you know what? I'm going to help somebody else out, and I know that that's going to come back, and somebody else is going to come and help me as well. And that's why I'm sharing this book, and also this chapter that is confidence. Now, have you guys, let's start with this. What is confidence? We'll start with that. Google defines confidence as a feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. A firm trust Simply put, confidence means having faith that things will turn out the way you expect them to be or in your favor. Have you guys heard that verse or read that verse about faith in the Bible? It sounds very similar to that, right? I got this little section right there straight from Google. And it's very similar to what the Bible says. And the reason for that is because a lot of things that are in the Bible, not a lot, everything that is in the Bible is godly, and it's like a rules that set everything else up. There's a lot of people that use the Bible. They don't use the Bible, but they use the elements of the Bible without even being Christian, but they know that those elements help them out in their lives. And how much more that God made this for us, specifically for us. So we have to grab it and use it for us. So what is it? It's a firm confidence in yourself or in a situation that something is going to happen. It's just going to happen. Like, for example, if I said, hey, the sun is going to rise tomorrow. Who has confidence that that's going to happen? The sun is going to rise tomorrow, right? That's because you're confident. It's happened before. It will happen again unless something very, very detrimental happening in the world. It will rise again tomorrow. That is your confidence, your faith that sun is going to happen again. And that is what confidence is confidence in your ability that you are going to get whatever it is done. That is simply put what confidence is. And I firmly believe that confidence is the key to everything we do. I'll give you an example. Who can cook breakfast? Raise your hand if you could, you know how to cook breakfast. Sister Benny, she's like, yeah. What if I said, you know those shows, those kitchen shows? I like to watch them. Master Chef, you guys see those? And they put the people to cook, right? If we said right now, let's start a Master Chef, and I'm going to give $100 to the best breakfast. Who would do that challenge? Who would do it? I mean, you have nothing to lose, right? You could get the $100 if you want, right? You're in it. All right. Some people would be in. Now already I could see it. You could already feel it in the room, right? Some people don't know how to cook. Do not know how to cook, and they were like, I'll try, right? I'll try. I have nothing to lose, right? I might get the $100, and I don't know. The people who really know how to cook, right? Sister Vanessa, she was like, get me down, that's $100, right? She's like, that $100 is mine. That's what confidence is. Because the person who knows how to cook, they've done it before. And they know that because they've done it before, they could do it again. And the person who has not cooked or doesn't know how to cook well, they just never done it. So they're kind of like flaky on their own ability. Now, the confidence could be shaken as well. For example, and I'll use the cooks. I'll use the cooks, okay? The cooks in the room. I see a lot of cooks here. If they put you in a new kitchen that you've never been before, isn't it annoying? Right? A new kitchen, brand new kitchen. You've never been in the kitchen before. You know how to cook. You know how to cook breakfast. You've done it 1,000 times. But if I put you in a brand new kitchen, you don't know where the dishes are. You're opening everything. You're like, where's the fork? Where's the sugar? You're kind of running around. You're like flimsy. You're like kind of falling apart. And your confidence starts to, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to pull this out. And actually, that's what I like about the Master Chef show is that some of them know how to cook, but they're kind of out of place, and their confidence is shaken. What the show does is that it puts them in several different situations, or more different situations, that they're able to overcome that. They're able to overcome it and become even better. So when they're put in a new kitchen again, they got it because again they did it before. They've done it before. And that's where we need to get. Cooking is just one aspect. I mean, how many different aspects are there in life? There's so many, right? So infinite amount of situations that you can have, okay? With that, I'm going to give you two main ways to get confidence, okay? One is internally. Internally, if you're going to write something down, I will write this down. Put internally, and there's going to be like a couple of things that is going to happen there, okay? This internally. Always begin with internally. Anything that you do in your life, begin with internally. Why? Because you have control over yourself. You don't have control over others. Right? You want to have control over others, but truthfully, I'm going to tell you the truth, you barely have control over yourself, right? Because the things you want to do, the Bible says you don't do. And the things you don't want to do, that's what you do. But imagine trying to control somebody else. You can't even control them. So external factors, we will get to that. That's the second one. But let's start internally first. What can I do internally? And I'm going to give you straight out where you get confidence. Work, write this down, work and experience. Hard work and experience. That's where you get confidence from internally. I'm going to give you a second to write that down. What I mean by that is just like when we're saying about the cooking, we're cooking the breakfast. That is work. You have to cook the breakfast, prepare it, and then clean after. There's the cleanup also. And it's work, right? The people who cook, you know it takes a lot of work. It's enjoyment for the people who like to do it, but it's still work. Even the things that you're passionate about, it's going to be hard work. This is one of the first things that I wish that people told me when I was younger, is that everything is hard work. Nothing, if it's going to be great, it's going to be hard work. It seems, maybe I'm talking a little bit to the younger crowd, it seems like the Instagram age has made it all like glamour and just perfect. It is not that way. I'm going to tell you, even the people that you follow that are Instagrammer or famous or whatever, they're doing hard work. They're doing hard work because first they got to go prep the picture, take the picture, edit the picture, make the post. It is a full-time job. They make it look nice, but it is hard work. Everything you do is going to be hard work. But guess what? The reward of the hard work is the output. You got something great out of it. And after all that, you're also going to get the experience. Hey, I did this. I learned how to cook. And tomorrow I'm going to know another dish, and you're just going to get better and better as the time goes on. So work and experience leads to confidence because you have known how to do it again. Here's the other one. Plain and straightforward, confidence comes from repetition, repetition, repetition. Write that down. Confidence comes from repetition, repetition, repetition. Because the first time you see anything, you do anything, it's going to be difficult. But the second time, you're going to say, oh, I remember I did this. I'm not going to make the same mistake I did before. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to learn from a mistake. And the second time is going to be better than the first. Guess what's going to happen the third? The third time is going to be better than the second. And of course, the first. And the fourth, and so on. And that's why repetition is the key to confidence. Have you guys ever seen that movie Groundhog Day? Anybody? I know the older people. I knew some of the younger people weren't going to know the Groundhog Day. So, okay, for the younger people, Palm Springs. Have you guys heard that movie? It's a movie that's like new. It came out like 2 years ago. No, not even? All right. Well, anyway, in both of those movies, what happens is that the people are stuck in an infinite loop. They wake up in the morning and they do the whole day. And then when they go to sleep at night, they wake up the next day and it's the same day again. It's like they're reliving the same day over and over and over and over. And what both movies happen is that the people in the movie, they start getting better at things in the movie. For example, in one of them, they learn how to play the piano because every day they just practice the piano, infinite amount of times. And then, boom, they learn how to play the piano. And then one time, I guess they got hurt this way. So, okay, tomorrow I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to go to the other way because they know if I go this way, I'm going to get hurt or whatever happened to them. So they get improved on. And that is what our lives are. You get not an infinite amount of days, but we have a lot of days to live in our lives. And what we have is the opportunity to go to sleep and tomorrow wake up and do it again. Wake up and do it again and do it again. And if you work many, many times, repetition, 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 you will become an expert at something, at that one thing. You will become an expert and you will have high confidence in that one thing that's there. That's another chapter in my book, by the way. Mastery is better than any education. Mastering something. Every time you come to a new scenario, you will need some time to adjust. You need time to adjust. The second time you encounter the same scenario or similar, you will feel better about it. And as a result, you will do better. Going back to the doctor, you know the doctor's there and they're doing the operation or they're talking to their patient and they're so calm. I don't know, have you ever talked to doctors? They're really calm about the situation. I think it's because, well, number one, you don't want a nervous doctor. Imagine talking to a nervous doctor. Like, I don't know if their operation's gonna, you don't want to talk to that kind of doctor, right? You want to talk to a doctor that knows what they're doing. Like, hey, listen, this is going to happen. Step 1, step 2, step 3, outcome, and that's the kind of doctor you want to talk to. You don't want to talk to the not confident doctor. The reason that doctor is so confident is because they've done that operation before. They've done it. For residency, just for residency, some doctors are 6, 8 years as a resident. That means that they're in the hospital doing hard doctor work, and under another doctor, or doctors, they're under, and they're residents. By the time they actually become a full doctor, they've done it all. The residents do even more work than actual regular medical doctors, because the medical doctors make the under people do everything. But just like any other job, kind of, But that's why the manager is the manager, because they probably done that job before. And now it's your turn to do the hard work and do the labor work while they do the thinking work. That's another thing right there. The basketball player. Why does that basketball player take that shot and they're so confident that they're going to make it in? Because they practice that same shot over and over and over. Larry Bird is a basketball player. He's like old basketball player. Brother Volan, right? You know him, right? He used to practice in the dark. Did you ever hear that? He used to practice in the dark and make shots in the dark. He was great. I mean, I saw a commercial one time where he had to miss. Did you see that? And the commercial was that he had to miss. He kept making it in. he's trying to miss, and his muscles, yeah, right. He's trying to miss, and he can't miss. Like, he's purposely trying to miss, and he just keeps getting it in because his muscle memory is just so good that so that's where their confidence is, because they've taken that same shot 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 times. Now we come to the church. We come to the things of God. We come to teaching. Why does it work? Is because you can do it one time, you start small, and you do it again and again and again and again. By the time that you've done it 100, 1,000 times, you're like, I've done this before. I've done the same lesson. I'll give you a hint for the people who, I'm his math teacher, right? And some people they say, oh, Mr. Bosell, he's such a great math teacher. And I'm like, awesome, thank you, awesome. I better be, with 15 years of practice, I better be a good math teacher, right? At that point. And it's because I've done the same lesson like at least 10 times. I always have to go back and brush up. But I've done that same lesson and I've answered that same question like 10,000 times. So I know what people are going to ask already, because people have asked me that already, because I've gotten to the level where I've just done it so many times. And that's where my confidence comes in math. I'm like, I don't know. Even if you ask me something I don't know, give me a minute. I'll figure it out. Come right back. I got this. I'll figure it out. And that's where my confidence comes in math. But you can apply that confidence in any aspect of your life, and especially in teaching. You come here and you're like, okay, the first time that you're put to teach in a classroom or anywhere, you're gonna be nervous, and that is okay. That is okay. I tell you what, even the 100th time, you'll probably still be nervous. Even the 15,000th time, you're still gonna be nervous. You still get nervous. Like today, I wasn't nervous. I just want everything to go well. I'll tell you the last time that I was nervous. Did you guys see that I interviewed Brother Bernard? For some people, you saw I interviewed Brother Bernard. And did it look good? Did it look like I did a good job? It looked good, right? I was nervous. You have no idea the level of anxiety that I had before. And after, I even got sick, right? I got sick. I was in bed for like 2 days. I'm not kidding. I was sick. I think I was just doing so much. Your body, after it was school closed out, it kept going. My body just gave out. But that was like the last thing in my mind, like my last hurdle that I had to get over. And then I was like, I could calm down. It was nerve-wracking. And again, he's a great guy. I think I just worked myself up too much to he's just a normal person, But again, it's just normal. But guess what? The next time I interview him, because there will be another time, I'll interview, will I be that same nervous? No, because I'm like, hey, we did it before, everything came out great. He's gonna know me a little bit more, and it's gonna be better the second time. And guess what, the third time, it's gonna be even better, So it just happens that you have to get over the hurdle of the first, second, and third time, and by the time you get down the road, you will be better at whatever it is that you're putting your mind to. Whatever it is, teaching in Sunday school, teaching in the classroom, in your work, or just speaking in public. Speaking in public is actually the number one fear in the world. Literally, people rather die, like literally, people fear death less, and they fear public speaking more. Literally. So people rather die than public speak. But you start small. You take time, patience, and practice. Write that down. Time, patience, and practice. Unfortunately, I feel like in today's society, time is something that we're like, no, just give me the 30-second, not even 30-second, the 10-second do-it-yourself video. Like sometimes I know you guys, even TikTok 5 seconds is too long. Like you scroll away, like it's too long. 5 seconds is too long, you scroll away. That's how we've come to, but everything takes time, patience, and practice. That's what it takes for us to do that. I'll give you another thing about the kids service, because we're talking about kids, and I know, I do a lot of stuff here in kids. In New York, we did a lot of stuff in New York, and my wife is here, she could tell you, we did a lot of stuff in New York. And I used to do kids services there, and I did not have the resources we have here. I did not have the people we have here. We had a very small church. I think the max that we maxed out one time was like 120 max. So our services were very small. One time I remember that we had a service and it was like 20, maybe 25 people. Like right now is more people than we had there. Like it was a regular Sunday service. And we finished the service and I'm like, man, like we're just having service here. And again, I would not do that here. We couldn't even do this here. But I was like, let's just go to the park right now. And we had the puppets, we had puppet stand. And let's go to the park. Let's just go to the park. There's kids in that park right now. Who wants to go to the park? Like, would you want to go to the park and just go preach and do puppets at the park? And everybody's like, yeah, I'll go. So we got most of the church to go. We ended up at the park. We had like over 100 people at the park. And they're all listening to me and I'm doing the puppets and we're doing crazy stuff. Everything's impromptu. But they're listening to the word of God. I preached about Noah and the kids heard the word. The parents heard the word from all kind of backgrounds, all kind of nationalities. And they're hearing the word on a Sunday because we went out there to do the word just randomly on a Sunday. Would I do it again right now? Of course I would do it again right now. Would I know it's going to be great? It's going to be great. Why? Because I did it before. Because I've done it before. And that's where I want you to go, is do it small. And we're like, oh, I did it before. I could do it again. Get here. I've done that. I could do it again. So Kids Bash, I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, let's go. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Now, we have so many great people, so much resources that I'm like, it's going to be unbelievable. We have so much potential here. We do. Every single one of us has so much potential and so many resources. Maybe the church, I'm not going to say unlimited resources for the church. Obviously, we have budgets and all of that. But guess who our Father is? Unlimited resources. Unlimited resources we have. And that's the way we have to think. Unlimited. It's just you putting the time and the effort and the repetition of the work. We're going to go to external. I know we're taking a little bit of time, but I hope that you're enjoying this speech here. We're going to go to external, okay? Write that down. Everything we spoke about before was internally, but there are external factors that bring confidence as well. And the first one that I want to talk to you about, or the first thing, or the first point, is that confidence is actually transferable. Confidence is transferable. You can transfer confidence. Confidence is transferable. Write that down. In the chapter of the book that I gave you, I speak a lot. I go into deep about this. I will not go into deep about this in this speech, but you can read it a little bit more. Your upbringing is where a lot of confidence may come or lack. of come. Okay? If you have confident parents, it is very likely that you will emulate the people around you, and you will absorb that confidence and have that confidence and use that same confidence. If you have parents that are not so confident, then you will emulate that. And again, your upbringing is very, very essential for your confidence and for anything in your upbringing. I'll give you a big, I know that you will know this, is pastor. Pastor's confidence, right? I would say that you guys believe that pastor's confidence is very high. It's through the roof, right? If we're leveling 1 to 10, he's like 1,000, right? And it's amazing. But I don't know if you have had time to spend with his father. Have you had time to spend with pastor's father? And as of late, every time he comes, I always try to talk to him and go out with him. The other day when he came, we went out to pizza with him. And his confidence also, and the way he speaks to people, I'm like, wow, it's so amazing how he is. And I'm like, and I look at him and I look at pastor, I'm like, yep, exactly. Copy, paste, and then pastor obviously has his own personalities and things like that. And then, so you just get it from your parents, your surroundings. And again, I know now you're starting to think, how are my parents? How am I as a parent? And all those things are good to think about and to reflect. And here's the great thing. Once you know it, you could change your situation and take what you can and leave what you don't need. Take what you can and leave what you need to leave. Even if it's from a parent, take what you can and leave what you need to leave. And I will tell this to my daughters, right? They're right here right now. Take from me what you need and don't take the bad things that I have. Leave them.